So the president of the United States, Donald Trump, posted a video to Truth Social about Hillary Clinton and the Clinton body count.
In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C.
Which I would imagine if you Google that, you will get a lot of things saying that it is a conspiracy theory that has been debunked by blobbity bloop bloop. But, you know, as we do on this channel, we're going to go ahead and examine whether it was debunked. We're going to look at the video that Trump posted, and he made it news. You know, one of those things that if you ever talked about the Clinton body count just like on your own, you could potentially get a strike and get your video banned. But since Trump posted it, we're going to do that. Now, we're doing something different on this video, though, because Play with Matches is the show that I do with Gabrielle. And so what we're doing is me and Gabrielle are going to cover this story, and then you can go to a link in the description to Play with Matches page if you enjoy this video, and you can go follow that show as well. Let's get into it. All right, Play with Matches. We are back for the first time on my main channel, but obviously the link's in the description to the actual show. So we have two crazy stories right now. There was a terror attack in Palm Springs, Gabrielle's hometown. Oh, by the way, this is my wife.
Hi, everyone.
Of 17 years. Yes. We have 17 children together. We had one kid.
I wish we had 17 children.
Per year.
Cut me off.
Yeah, dude. No, but that's who she is. Because I realized, like, in the intro, I'm like, me and Gabrielle's channel, they're all, who the fuck is Gabrielle?
Here I am.
Yeah. So she's from Palm Springs, and there was a terror attack. Someone, like a bomb, like a straight up bomb.
An actual bomb.
They blew up a fertility clinic. Now,
it's so crazy. This happened hours ago.
Yeah. And Gabrielle, let me ask you a question. When you hear bomb at a fertility clinic, who do you think did it, or why?
I mean, as a female who's had children, I know what a fertility clinic is, but I know in your brain you thought possibly abortion clinic.
Correct.
So.
It's going to be a terror person who wanted to bomb an abortion clinic, and it is a fertility clinic.
It's like an IVF clinic.
They don't do abortions there.
No.
It's the exact opposite. Okay. So assuming that the person who bombed this place was an anti-abortion person, they are a moron. You bombed the exact opposite of what you wanted.
If you bomb anything, you're a moron, just for the record. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We don't know. But
if you bomb anything, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like, I promise a bomb's never the right answer. You know?
Ever. But yeah, I mean, you could be totally right that they were stupid on a different level and thought that they were getting a place that was doing different things behind the doors.
They were doing the opposite, you know? Like, I know we all talk about the, well, there's a million reasons that issue is a big deal, but especially recently, we're talking about population crash. Mm-hmm. And, like, the Trump administration has actually talked about incentivizing people to have kids by saying that, like, if a family has a certain number of kids, they would pay
like a tax break or something.
Yeah, like a big one though, or they just don't even pay taxes. That, honestly, if it's that dire, the way that, like, Elon talks about it, if it's really that dire, then that's exactly, there should just be like no taxes if you have at least 3 kids.
When did that change though?
What?
Like, recently, weren't we talking about we're overpopulated and there's too many people? I'm genuinely confused.
So it depends on who you ask.
Enlighten me.
Right?
Yeah.
It depends on who you ask. Because, like, Elon, who, in my opinion, I don't know, is probably a more credible source of information when it comes to, like, these guys, and Jordan Peterson also, they're like, there's not going to be any people to run society. And people like Bill Gates and the eugenics people are like, we need to lower the population. We need to make sure that these poor, stupid people can't reproduce. That's why when we go to Africa, if we have a successful rollout of our vaccine program, then we'll be able to reduce the population by 12%. He said that on a stage.
Was that not like a Freudian slip? Like, did he actually mean those words?
Yeah, I think crazy that he just says what he's actually doing. And then people are like, oh, he couldn't have meant that. It's like, no, I think he meant it, dude.
Like, I just thought it was like a slip of the tongue. Like, he just misspoke.
His father, I mean, he might have, like, meant to not say that, but I mean, his father's like a completely established, well-known eugenicist.
Really? I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. So the thing about that is, it's not like the concept of eugenics is like without merit. You're like, hey, I have an idea. How about we are cautious about who procreates, and then we can elevate the species. But at the same time, you're just gonna like. I mean, I know that's a great idea if you're an
In
elitist
theory.
weirdo.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, but no, you guys
can't
can't
have
have
kids.
children. You're all, why not?
that's
They're all
not
because
fair.
their BMI is too high. I'm like, you look like you have boobs and a tummy that you could like set a coffee
Ew.
cup on. Do you remember when Elon used the emoji of the pregnant man for Bill Gates?
No, he did.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
He's insane, but so funny.
But Joe Rogan makes great points about that. Like when they had what's his name? Oh God, who's that little stubby fucking dwarf that is like the Fauci counterpart who's always on there talking about, you need to get the shot.
No idea.
That guy. And Dr. Peter Hotez.
I never would have got there.
You don't know? Okay.
I mean, I know the name, but
So you need to see this just to laugh at this idea. Okay. So Peter Hotez. So Rogan had him on and he's on there talking about that, he's like global vaccine activist.
That guy.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Rogan's like, so like, what about, like going out in the sun or like, what do you do that's healthy? And he's like, I eat a lot of sugar, man. He's like,
He said that?
He said something like he eats terrible. Like he has a terrible diet. And Rogan's like, what do you
So
mean
we
you have a
should
terrible diet?
Probably listen to this
Exactly.
guy about health then.
Yeah. He's like, so how are you an authority? I mean, like Rogan as
Yeah.
politely as you could, but completely called him out. Like
Good.
he's all, what he said. I remember this line exactly. He goes, what, you just can't resist that mouth pleasure of eating the sugar?
Ew.
And then he asked him something about exercise, and Hotez gave one of those answers that's like, no, not really.
I
You're
do
like,
not.
no,
I do
you
not
don't.
do that.
Hey, this is what exercise looks like, dude.
Yeah. Oh.
Dude, what's up? Yeah. But anyway, so I don't even know, how the hell did we even get on the
Population control.
population control? There you go, Gabrielle. See, that's what she's here for, you guys.
Got it.
So
Got
what is
you.
she bringing to the table? I'm like, she's pretty, and I lose my train of thought.
Keeps me on track. At least I try.
And she,
So
every time that I watch these videos back, Gabrielle's sneaky funny, dude.
I'm low-key funny.
Low-key funny because she low-key makes fun of me all the time, and I don't even catch it while we're recording this. And then when we watch it back, I'm like, oh, that was fun. That's pretty clever, Gabrielle. Well played.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so on the population stuff, it's like all of a sudden there was this generational jump to where everyone's all, now we're not gonna have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have 3 daughters. My brother has 2 daughters and a son. And our cousins, we have like 10 cousins.
There's 10 of you total.
10 of us total. My brother and I are the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
So like just a tiny bit younger. Like I was 10 when the first set of my next cousins were growing up or were born. I'm sorry. And none of them have kids. None of them. Like another eight cousins. None of them have kids.
I think we'll see kids from one of them who's getting married this month, but it is pretty weird.
And I think
it's a decade of difference.
I think it's a representation. I mean, like I think it's an accurate representation of like everyone I know has kids that's my age.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like they have just smashed propaganda into people's brains on a level that is like they're so
like they're
slick
afraid
about
to
it.
bring kids into the world.
That one is the craziest.
So crazy to me.
That one is the craziest.
Yeah.
That one is the absolute craziest because the whole like the one that's kind of understandable and also laughable is how they promote this idea. It's all, oh my God, kids are just going to ruin your life. They're like, oh my God.
There go your freedoms.
Yeah.
There goes your money.
Don't you like to be able to go on Tinder and have sex with anyone you want?
Those
Chelsea
videos
Handler.
are so depressing.
They are
like so sad.
If they saw themselves through our eyes, it's like they think they're flexing.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
I can sleep in and do whatever I want with my day. But it's one of those things that you can't explain to people. Like when you have kids, you're on the other side, you get it. If you don't have kids, there's no possible way to understand.
Yeah, because no one likes anyone else's kids, really. I mean, a few people do. Our friend Jeff Gum, a new father, is one of the only people that I ever met. I'm like, he really loves kids.
He does.
He's a Navy SEAL.
I adore that guy.
I knew he was going to be a great dad, too. I'm so happy for him. But like, yeah, it was like, this guy is not who I would have picked to be like
Mr. Kid.
Mr. Like he's gonna make the best dad ever. Like
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck about kids before I had kids, and I would do anything for my kids. But that's the thing about the conversation. It's like it's like there's a haunted house, and you have 2 groups of people. One group has already gone through the haunted house and came out the other side. This other group's about to go in, and they're like, dude, I heard that there's a guy with a chainsaw that cuts off people's heads at the end. The people who went through, they're all, no, he's not in there. And they're like, no, yeah, he is. They're like, no, he's not. Like, we heard that same rumor.
That's a weird analogy, but okay.
We heard that same rumor, but we went through. It's like, that's not correct. You know, It's like, hey guys, they have not gone through. Shut the fuck up, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't know what's in the haunted house. You've never gone through, you dumbass. And that is exactly what this conversation is. You think we don't know what it's like to be single or like to be together, not have kids? We know.
We did that for 4 years before we had kids.
Exactly. And it's totally fine, dude. If people don't want to have kids, don't have kids. But the idea that
kids ruin your
life. Kids ruin your life is so fucking stupid and incorrect. It's I mean, you know, we have amazing kids though, and we're great parents. So if you be shit parents and you have shit kids, then that's probably accurate.
It might be a different story.
Yeah, like, you know, we anyway.
So yeah,
but
there was a bomb in Palm Springs.
Yeah, so people
we're gonna have to watch it unfold because I am genuinely perplexed.
Well, let's see what the videos are coming out. Like, check that out, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I just realized this is our main channel. They're gonna be like, get to the point, dude. Jesus. That's what this channel is, dude. Like,
our channel is just a lot of banter.
We just talk, dude. Like, we will always get to the topic.
We do.
Like the Hillary Clinton thing that we're going to talk about. Like, definitely we will talk about that in this episode. But there's no rush, you know? Anyway, so
these photos are crazy.
Yeah, dude. I know exactly where that is.
It's Palm Springs, not Palm Desert.
I know. I knew exactly where it was. It looks exactly like Palm Desert, though.
It does.
It all looks the same.
But it's like up against the mountains, like Palm Springs mountains, not Palm Desert mountains.
You know that this is a person who thought this was an abortion clinic.
I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense unless there's some other crazy
obliterated
backstory.
American reproductive centers. Everyone would think that that's an abortion clinic who is not.
Maybe guys. I feel like women.
Do women bomb abortion clinics?
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah. People who build bombs are dudes.
The identity of someone died.
Hey, so this smart guy probably killed someone whose entire career was promoting the birth of children, thinking that they were an abortionist. The correct thing.
What if it's completely unrelated?
Who builds bombs?
I don't know. In Palm Desert, Palm Springs.
Do you know what I mean? Like, really, like, who bombs things?
Yeah.
And that is actually not uncommon when it comes to the clinics, right? Like, that's like not a super uncommon thing.
Right.
I've never heard of anybody except like outlaw biker clubs bomb each other. In America, that's like it, dude. Bomb. It's like organized crime or
abortion clinics.
Yep. And they just got the wrong one.
Maybe.
We're still trying to determine the cause. Police and fire down here. We heard helicopter. Yeah, it definitely felt like an explosion. Yeah, people said that they heard it 3 miles away. Or felt it 3 miles away.
Where's the car?
Yeah, you didn't see it? There was a picture of it. It's like ash. Let's
and
watch
again, if you're just joining us, our breaking news is you are looking live at images out of Palm Springs, California, where a bomb, according to the mayor of Palm Springs, a bomb went off near a fertility clinic there in Palm Springs, that this happened in or near a vehicle that was parked near that fertility center. Again, this is a place where people would go to try to get fertility treatments, to do IVF, to do IUI, things like that. That's what a fertility clinic does. And so we are told by the doctor that runs that clinic that all of his staff is accounted for. But we do know, again, according to authorities, that there is one fatality. Josh, as we're looking at this scene, which is big, it is pretty spread out. We talked about how significant the damage.
Can you, like, just for a second, think, I know, like, things like this happen, they're all, oh, it's only one fatality. And, like, so, like, to everybody who's just an observer, it's like, oh, only one fatality. And whoever that fatality is, like, if that was you and you, like, worked at that place and someone bombed it and that's how you died, like.
Insanity.
I don't know how a person can, like, process a thing like that and then be like, okay, I guess I'll just get back to life at some point, you know?
Well, if you're dead, you're not getting back to life.
I'm talking about me if they killed you.
Oh, okay.
Or, I mean, you know, I know you just cruise right through. You're all, Jesse's dead. You're all fucking Tinder. It's on.
Shut it.
Images to that building, but as this photographer zooms out.
What?
It's now officially confirmed it was a bomb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see just how much of a scene this is, how big the scene is. What do you make of the posture? We know the FBI is there on scene, ATF. This is being taken obviously quite seriously. We saw the dogs out there sniffing around. Tell us a little bit about what's going through.
It is weird. It looks like it blew out, like through the building, like it.
Yeah, the back looks worse.
Well, the foundation like got broken down, so it collapsed in on itself. But I think the car was parked either in the back of I think the back.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm trying to figure out from these photos.
Let me see. So
they don't show the back unless this goes all the way around. It's weird.
There we go.
Oh, looks like the back looks worse.
But where the fuck is that car? There was a car that was all burned out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This story is developing, and that is going to be a very interesting.
To see who and why, and if it really was just he got the wrong place. Who knows?
I know. Imagine if it's like just the weirdest story ever. It's like, oh no, it was actually a person who had done IVF with his wife there.
That's what I was thinking. What if it's completely,
it's just something super weird, and then it's like, and it turned out they took the doctor's sperm and impregnated the wife and made an embryo and then put it in her, and then he just did a DNA test and figured it out, and then so he blew up the guy's thing.
We have no clue who it was or why.
Occam's razor. They thought it was an abortion clinic would be my guess, but
maybe.
We'll see. Okay, now moving over to the headline story.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my God.
Someone timestamp it.
Now, Gabrielle, well, for everybody who's, catching the show for the first time, a common theme of this show is we almost called it Jesse Tells Gabrielle Things.
I never know what we're going to talk about until we're here.
Gabrielle's on Instagram. And so she learns things that can be fit into like reels or whatever, where I watch long form content. So things like Pizzagate, as an example, Gabrielle knows just as much as she has decided to listen to as I go blah, 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 blah. And
I
she's
also don't want to know a lot about that.
That's true.
That's not for me.
I seek that stuff out. Gabrielle will avoid that kind of thing like the plague, like her brain breaks. Anywho, so this is one of those things that she has heard a little bit about but doesn't know anything, which is the Clinton body count. Now, for some background, Donald Trump posted this video, okay, on his Truth Social. This is why we're able to talk about this, guys, because I would never entertain an insane theory like that the Clintons have a string of like 30 to 50 people that they've been either in business with or that were threats to them that, mysteriously died of like crashes or,
mysterious circumstances. Yeah.
I mean, those people did die, but I would never imply that it was connected to those two.
Never.
I have certainly told everybody that I think the most terrifying person in the world is Hillary Clinton.
She's scary.
Like, not scary like the Night Stalker.
You just don't want to be on her bad side.
Yeah. Like the Night Stalker's terrifying because he's like a psychotic person. Like, she's scary because she's absolutely not that. And she is like
ruthless.
The last person on earth that you want to have a problem with you. Now, the one person who seems to have absorbed her ire and then come out the other side and now
Trump
wields all of the power of the federal government is Trump. Okay. So I think it is interesting that he posted this right when Comey put up the thing of 8647 and now Comey is dealing with the Secret Service. No way.
I have no clue what you're talking about. Sorry, we'll get to the story at some point. Now he needs to educate me on what?
You know who James Comey is, yeah?
Yeah.
Who?
I know the name. Something in New York. Prosecutor?
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
His daughter is the main prosecutor for the Diddy case. Okay. But the actual guy was the director of the FBI, an absolute core piece of the deep state. And Trump fired him in his first, I did
know this. Yeah.
So he's a very like big enemy of Trump.
Right.
And yesterday he posted a picture on Instagram. Comey did. That was on the beach, and it was someone had arranged a bunch of seashells to say 8647. 47 is Trump because he's the 47th president.
86.
And so immediately Everyone was like, that's a call to assassinate Trump. And,
Yeah.
you know, at first I was like, man, that's kind of a stretch. But Comey took it down immediately. He wrote a post that was like, I would never promote violence. I didn't. So he already is on the back heels. So Tulsi Gabbard, director of national intelligence, immediately went on Fox News. He's all, this is a call for assassination. Trump did the same thing. He's all, you know, he knew exactly what he was doing. And so now the narrative is Comey wanted to called for assassination of Trump.
Okay.
And so that happened yesterday. And then now today, Hillary Clinton, he does this. And it's like, I think that he is laying out. He's like, I'm coming for scalps now. Just so we're clear, this shit's over. Like, remember when you guys could run whatever stories you guys wanted? You guys throw me in jail or whatever. Oh, I'm a felon. Hey, who's your fucking daddy now? Hey, oh, hi, director of the FBI, Kash Patel, the most loyal to the president director that there's ever been, you know? And like, he has consolidated power. It's unbelievable. Like, his first presidency, he had no idea what he was doing because how would he? And it's like, he got his fucking ass handed to him in a million different ways. He was getting undermined, and all these guys, like, they were playing a game he didn't even realize existed. And he, as you would expect, knowing the guy, mastered the game and now won the fucking game. And now he's in control of everything. And he's like, hey, how about I post a reference to fucking Clinton body count on your head, Hillary?
Yeah, I want to see the video.
Here we go.
John F. Kennedy Jr., he was declared the front-runner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator. Mary Mahoney was a Clinton White House intern. She knew enough of the inner workings of Bill's sexual advancements to be a star witness during the Clinton impeachment trials. She was brutally executed at a Starbucks she was managing in 1997. In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C. He supposedly killed himself, and among a lengthy list of potential foul play, the bullet was never found. Then there's James McDougal, a key witness for White House prosecutors. He was serving his 3-year sentence for bank fraud at the Fort Worth Federal Medical Center in Texas. And just before he was to give a testimony before the grand jury, McDougal suffered a heart attack in solitary confinement. In 2015, Walter Scheib, a White House chef hired under Bill Clinton, joined the list. His body was found at the bottom of a river, nearly 2 miles from the base of the trail he was reportedly hiking. An autopsy determined that Scheib's death was accidental drowning, but he might have known too much. 27-year-old Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich was shot and killed in D.C. this year. There is speculation that he was the source of the controversial leaked emails allegedly sent by DNC staffers, and that he may have been murdered in retaliation. Then Sean Lucas, the lead attorney in a fraud case against the DNC, was found lying on the bathroom floor by his girlfriend when she returned home on August 2nd. His death was reported classified, pending the results of an autopsy. To this day,
yeah, so that is just an excerpt, by the way. Like, that's not the whole list by a long shot. Okay. So, you know, those are things that have happened. Like, there's no, I mean, listen,
coincidence?
no one is saying that Hillary and Bill Clinton were behind these things. They're just pointing out that those people died in the ways that were itemized, and they timely happen to have had damaging information potentially on the Clintons. So
there's that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I told you guys, dude. Okay. I was talking about this yesterday, about part of the Ibogaine experience where I went deep into the political system, and it was all about, like, I saw it through Hillary Clinton. It was like, not necessarily how, like not her character, but just how she can wield power.
The amount of power she has.
And like, they can have someone killed so fucking easily. It's unbelievable. Like, people think that to like have a death ruled whatever is like some huge hurdle. It's like, dude, it's literally ruled. It's a coroner.
The coroner,
dude.
Yeah. It's
just
one
this
guy.
one person.
Yeah.
One person. Okay, no matter what the circumstances are,
whatever they write down on that piece of paper.
They send the body to a single person, and they go, well, that was a drowning.
No
and
one's
you're all,
double checking the work. They just take their word.
yeah. I mean, sometimes later on you get like a second
They
opinion,
like
and then
resume or whatever.
but no one
yeah.
ever cares about those. That's what's crazy. Exhume. Well, no, like sometimes they'll send like a picture, like autopsy with all the pictures to like a second person,
Right.
and they'll be like, this part of the throat bone is broken. That never happens except if you're yada yada. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But no one ever gives it any credibility. That's what's crazy. Is like when you really think about how people interpret these, they just go with the first ruling. And you're like, this person has solved 10,000 wrongful deaths. He's the most credible person in the world. And he's all, That's
not what it said on the paper.
And they're like, oh, get out of here, conspiracy theorist. Jeez.
That's wild.
Dude.
He just posted that video with no caption, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So there was that. And then like, so Andrew Breitbart, who was like a very, very big enemy of those guys. You remember, Breitbart News?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember 10 years ago thinking that Breitbart was like this source of nothing but lies.
Yeah.
Like I really believed
Crazy,
that.
wild. Yeah.
Like just total conspiracy theory
that too.
nonsense. Breitbart. Oh my God. You
Can't
got it
trust
from
that.
Breitbart.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. And now I'm like, MSNBC, who told me Breitbart's all
CNN.
lies. You know what I mean? Like MSNBC is all lies. I'm like,
No,
tell
it's
like
true.
God, Breitbart. Now it's like, yeah, fucking right, MSNBC. But so he died. Actually, let me rewind. So he said that he had a massive, damning story about John Podesta, who is Hillary Clinton's chief of staff.
Mm-hmm.
Same one, Spirit Cooking.
Yeah.
Okay. He said that he was going to drop this information. Don't quote me on the exact dates, but this is like, so let's say it was May 3rd. I think it was like May 13th.
The gist of the story. Okay.
He was going to drop this on May 13th. Okay. 2 days before he's going to drop this huge John Podesta story. And we're talking like he had done interviews and he's speaking into microphones. He's all, how about you, John Podesta? You have any secrets in your closet? Like you knew he had something huge.
Yeah.
2 days, he dies. Coroner rules it a heart attack or whatever, and it's super suspicious. And then the coroner a month later dies of poisoning. Poisoned. The coroner. That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's why I'm always like, Pizzagate, it's crazy talk. I don't believe any of it. And I certainly would never make any direct accusations at anyone because I like my life, I try to make that pretty clear. Like I talk about all this stuff, but it's like, just so we're clear, guys, if anybody like that poisons people has a really serious problem with anything I'm saying, you can just send me a fucking email, dude. Just shoot me an email. You don't need to shoot me an arsenic or whatever. Okay. Yeah. I just say the things I say. And if you're that worried about it, it's true. So you can at least acknowledge I'm smart. And then just ask me not to talk about it and I won't. Jeez.
That video is wild.
Oh, that is part of a 90-minute documentary.
Really?
You want to watch it later?
Maybe.
Ooh, look at that. We got Gabrielle on a conspiracy. Dude, there's one instance that I am, God, I would have to find it. But so I heard about one instance where a dude who was in the same, similar situation to these people with was hung from a tree and shot in the chest with a shotgun. And it was ruled
That makes sense.
The gun weighed, it was one of those ones where you're all, are they just doing this on purpose to let everyone know that they can do that? Like the way that they shot that one dude twice in the head. And it's ruled as that like the guy who exposed the crack in the ghettos thing for the CIA. What do you think, Gabrielle?
That there's so much going on that we don't know about. And it's crazy how much power these people have. Scary.
It's really crazy just to think about what the government can do to you. Just a government, right?
Yeah.
It's if the federal government comes after you,
you're cooked.
You're in, and there are these people who control what happens in those. They have so much power. That's what I was talking about when I really saw it.
Unlimited resources at their disposal to do whatever they want.
They can do anything to you, and they can get any narrative out because they're just same exact people are like beep, 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 boop. Hello, president of CNN. We need you to run a story about Donald Trump being a white supremacist, and here is our proof. It's like,
yep.
The pandemic exposed all of it. They overplayed their hand. And literally, that's what's so crazy about what's going on right now is the reason that we've had all of this uncovered is because they like thought they had unlimited. They didn't have to cloak what they were doing anymore. You know, so they went after Trump cheating with all of the stuff. They did COVID, which, and now everybody's like, oh yeah, they need our trust to be able to do what they do. You know, like, or at the very least, we need to trust the institutions.
Yeah. Which most people don't anymore.
What do you think about that? You think most?
About what? I don't know. I guess we run in a different circle than probably most.
Yeah, well, we don't know anyone that doesn't love Trump.
But I mean, I think that most people I talk to now have like a healthy questioning.
Skepticism.
Yeah. Of what they see now. It used to be just like, oh, well, the news said whatever, so it's true.
I used to be like that a long time ago. But
that's how the news used to. Well, maybe it was always like this and we didn't know, but it felt more truthful.
It felt like it was all true then. It's like, yeah, I'm sure it was all true. Hey guys, don't ask too many questions about the moon landing though, guys. Okay? Because that makes perfect sense. Hey, everyone, they've lied to us about literally every single thing, but don't ask too many questions about the moon landing, dude. It's like,
totally,
you know, 500 miles furthest we've gone from Earth, except somehow humans figured out a way to get all the way to the moon and back 237,000 miles each way, 400 degrees on the moon, in the sun, 400 degrees negative when it's not in the sun. No computers, but somehow got there and back. No problem. Van Allen radiation belts. No problems, dude. Yeah. Don't ask too many questions about it. Keep on telling yourself that it's conspiracy theory kooks who question the moon landing. Like, this shit is fucking weird to me, man.
I thought you were insane when you first brought it up, but the more research I've done on it, it's
laughable. It's fake for sure. Like, it's like laughably fake.
I'm not going to say for sure, but I'm going to say it's a lot more likely that it was created in a studio than we actually went.
That's fair. Here's how I would say it. It's like, if someone was like, what's your confidence that 9/11 was orchestrated by intelligence agencies in order to give us the reason to go to
Gosh,
I'd be like,
not, but...
fuck, 50-50. And that one, I actually, if they did do it and it was for the reason that I've laid out, I don't have, it's a complicated thing, dude. If they really were missing suitcase nukes and they knew these guys were going to try to detonate them in American cities and they needed a reason to go torture them without telling them that, that's a big man decision right there. Yeah. But nonetheless, I no higher than 50%, you know, on 9/11. And on the moon landing, if they're like, how confident are you? You'd be like 99.8%. Like, literally, I'm 99% sure it's fake. Yeah. And do I throw that around on like crazy stuff though? What's the confidence that the Earth is?
Do you know yourself?
No. But okay, that's fair. But I do think that I have an open mind about most things. Like, you do with the moon landing, dude. Yeah. If you've really looked into it, every person who's really looked at the moon landing's fake evidence is on our side. Every single person. No one looks at all of it and is like, no, I heard it would have been harder to fake the moon landing than to go to the moon. You're all, how could anyone measure that? No one's ever gone to the moon, you fucking weirdos. Like, there's actually videos that say that on YouTube. They're all, it had actually been much more complicated to fake the moon landing than to actually go. You're all, it'd be more complicated to film it and then put it on television and pretend you're on the phone with the fucking astronauts.
Launch a shuttle, send it up to space for a while, bring it back down.
Like you've done a billion times, and then just say they were in the moon, than it would be to accomplish this thing that no humans have ever done, nor have done in 60 years since.
That's stupid.
They acted like they were talking to them on the fucking moon, dude. Hey, how were they talking to them on the moon? Hey, who was filming when the thing took off? There's someone filming there, dude.
That's true. Those are the most damning. Like, the camera was already out there when he got out. So the first step was it the first step?
Yeah, what they do, they screw it out there? Yeah. It just lands perfect.
Yeah. On the tripod?
Yeah. Multiple angles of shadows where you're like, what are these lights? Oh, so it's in the sun. So it's daylight. That means it's 400 fucking degrees. How are you dealing with that? You know?
They have special suits, okay?
The suits are special. Have you ever seen the moon lander? Like, what it's made out of?
No.
I went to the museum when I was in DC for a conference, and they like had it there. It's like, it's made of like fucking aluminum foil. It looks like someone made it for a school project. Yeah. Okay. No offense, NASA. Okay, we know the moon, like the rovers and everything. Gabrielle's got a family who was one of the key engineers on the Mars rover. Like you can, to clarify for new people,
We can put stuff out in space.
You can't get
people
humans,
are the problem.
You can't get humans there and back.
Yeah.
Okay, because we can't go through the Van Allen radiation belt. That's why we have to stay in lower Earth orbit, because you get fucking dead instantly. You guys have heard of radiation, right?
Yeah.
Radiation is very bad for humans. I think
But
aliens
they said that there were some really thin spaces that they went through.
Is that what their story is? I've never listened to that part, because I know they didn't even know about the Van Allen radiation belt when they lied.
So they went through the thin spot.
They just knew exactly where to go. You're all, oh wait, you can see radiation? They're all, yeah, we have ways of measuring it in advance, and then we built our, without computers. Hey, with no computers.
Was it really before computers?
Dude, it was in the 60s.
Yeah.
1969, 1970.
When I told you we were at the state capitol for the field trip, and there was like another museum with all like the big things that Texas has done. Houston, right? It's where it happened. So they had like this little area set up for the moon landing mission, and one of the kids was like, this is the 11-year-old, they're like, but we didn't go. Like,
no way.
Yeah.
That kid's got a smart parent, dude.
Yeah. Their generation is questioning it, at least.
Yeah. It's crazy. So Candace now laughs at the moon landing. Like, she literally, if I said 99, she would say 115%. She's certain, dude. And it's funny because, she worked at the Daily Wire, and they had all that fallout, and which led to the Daily Wire's implosion. So when Rogan and one of the other guys started talking about the moon landing being fake on Rogan, all the Daily Wire guys, they were like, it's unbelievably un-American to question the validity of the moon landing. You're all, why is it un-American? If we did fake it, that's the most gangster American thing ever.
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't do the moon landing faked to trick American citizens. We did it to beat the Soviets in the Cold War.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate psyop. From my perspective, us faking it is the most Machiavellian gangster ass move ever.
But they could never admit it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's way too ingrained. I go to the airport, and they still all over the airport have these things humans can do anything, and they've got an astronaut, and it's I guess, dude.
Sure.
It's so funny. Can you imagine if they just came out and what would happen?
I don't know. I don't know if the whole generation that lived through us going to the moon, once they're gone. You know what I mean? If it wouldn't be as big of a deal, if people just kind of brush it off.
I think they're concerned that we would question everything that the government tells us after that, because we'd be like,
sure.
They faked the fucking moon landing.
And it looks really bad on the global stage too.
Oh, for sure.
So.
But you know what else looks bad? The fucking moon landing footage, dude. It looks like a 1968 movie.
Really bad.
It doesn't even look moderately real, dude. It's and it's so funny because you know exactly how this played out if you have really looked at it. It's okay, they were trying to go to the moon. This was not and they just were like, this is fucking impossible. We're not going to be able to do it. And then Space Odyssey comes out, and people are watching it. They're like, God, this looks completely fucking real. Stanley Kubrick. Exactly. Why would we have to actually go if we can just say we went? It's call that Kubrick. Yeah. Call that Kubrick. And then Stanley Kubrick has the fucking biggest secret of all time just weighing on his.
Imagine being Neil Armstrong though.
I feel sorry for them.
That's me too. I was talking to Giselle about it in the car. I was like, I can't even imagine if we didn't go and he had to lie his whole life. This thing that he's known for. He's an American hero, a celebrity, and it's fake.
Have you ever seen
in interviews? Yeah.
And when he talks to students. When he talks to students when he's older,
I haven't seen that.
He's basically saying it. He's like, there's still incomplete information that hopefully this next generation will be able to whatever. You're all, what are you referencing?
Huh.
Hey, what are you referencing exactly, dude? The first press conference when they got back from the moon is, if you are a person who can read people, is so damning. It's if you really went to the fucking moon and back, you would just be like,
yeah,
we did. We survived. We had no idea, and they're just and they're all. So tell us about the stars up there. He's all. One of them literally looks at the other one. I don't remember seeing stars up there. Do you guys remember seeing stars? You're all.
Yeah.
Think about what it's like in a situation.
You
would remember
every
moon, it would be single detail
etched into you.
It would be fucking ingrained in your brain detail for yeah. Hey, do you guys remember seeing stars up there? I don't remember seeing the stars.
Are there stars up there? I don't know.
I was so focused on the gray landscape that I didn't look up or take
just
note.
out.
Yeah, there's literally nothing else to look at, dude.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing to look at except for the ground and then the stars. And you didn't look at the star. I don't remember, dude. It's laughable, dude. 99.9 now. I tucked myself into another 0.1%. Oh, man, dude. I could talk about the moon landing being fake all day. And
I know.
it's unfortunate for the... You know what? Okay. I understand people who've never looked into it, right? Like, if you've never looked into it and you
This sounds insane.
And you give credence to experts, right? Because, like, the experts are rocket scientists. Like, don't be an idiot and think that you're going to question a rocket scientist about...
It's the science of rockets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's like, no, it was Richard Nixon, who was super honest, if you guys remember. And the Vietnam War, it's the most dishonest the government's ever been. We just assassinated fucking Martin Luther King. And like this is a crazy time in the United States. Way crazier than now, actually. And it's like, fuck it, man. Let's just fake it. You know, you had real, genuine threat of thermonuclear war, okay? Like now, for whatever reason, it's like, oh yeah, that's not going to happen. But back then, people lived with like that sort of Damocles over their head all the time. I would have been so fucking scared all the time.
Yeah.
The Cuban Missile Crisis, like if they would have made one of like 100 decisions could have gone the wrong way, it would have turned into thermonuclear. You know that the Americans, when they did the blockade, do you know about the Cuban Missile Crisis? How much do you know about it? Like,
probably not as much as you.
Definitely not as much as me. But so like America had one of those U-2 spy planes flies over Cuba, and they see that they are building these mid-range ICBM setups that the Soviets were bringing over.
Okay.
And so it's all like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? It was like a week, or I think it was actually 11 days. They considered bombing all of them. They considered invading Cuba. They considered all of these things. And what the Joint Chiefs, the war guys, they're all, we need to invade, Mr. President. And he's like, okay, but what do you think Khrushchev and Castro are going to do? And they're all, nothing. He's all, nothing. They're all, nothing. He's all, I guarantee he's going to do something.
Yeah.
You know, so if you had Kamala in there, okay, JFK was like, that doesn't make any sense. So they ended up going with a blockade. So they blocked, they put in the Navy, like they blocked all the Soviet ships that were coming to Cuba and basically played chicken. They're like, they were going to have to like ram it or turn around, right? That had all the missiles on it. They thought that they didn't have any active missile sites yet, which was wrong intelligence. They had active missile sites. Also, they had a submarine underneath the ships that had nuclear torpedoes that were like protecting them, and they had no idea that they had atomic bombs on them. And so they sent down depth charges to bring subs up. And the Soviet commander of that submarine had orders to fucking fire nuclear torpedoes at them, and he fucking himself defied the orders and brought the sub to the surface. And then when he might have gotten fucking like shot when he got back to Soviet, but like he decided he's not doing it.
He's
himself.
not going to be the hand that starts
a
global nuclear war. Yeah.
And he probably saved most of humanity.
Yeah.
You know,
it's crazy.
So McNamara was the chief secretary of defense back then, and he met with Castro like many years. You know, Castro's dead now. Justin Trudeau's dad. You guys may recall
another conspiracy.
You may recall Castro as Justin Trudeau's fucking dead ringer father.
Dude, they look so much alike.
That one,
like so much alike.
They look identical, and I still would only say 80%. Okay, right. Like moon landing 99.9. Okay, like Castro and fucking Trudeau are identical twins. I'm still at 80, dude. Anyway, but so like they met way later. We're talking like in like the 2000s or something. And when they were talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis, McNamara said something like, "Oh, it's lucky that we yada yada yada." And Castro was like, "I would have fired all of the missiles at you." And McNamara's all, "Okay, but then we would have fired all of ours back at you, and we would have like annihilated
Cuba."
Well, no, and it was like Soviets also, like, and Castro's like, he was just immovable on it. And McNamara's like, are you guys translating this correctly? Because he speaks Spanish. And he's like, I kept asking. And this guy was 100% like that he would have done this. And he's standing by it now, even if the outcome would have been human annihilation. People are fucking crazy.
Crazy.
I'm the submarine commander, okay? You ask me to blow up one of those ships with a fucking torpedo, I will blow that fucking thing up. You ask me to shoot a nuke at it, and I know that situation, I'm not fucking doing that. Which is why you wouldn't want me in that situation, because I'm not just going to follow orders if it means destroying all of humanity. But
good.
Anyway, that's probably enough, you guys. So go
Come over
follow
to our channel.
Yeah, our channel's over there.
See ya.
Bye.